Coming up next, I'll give you some tips for working well from home during this crisis, and I'll tell you one thing that could keep you down during this crisis. Your calls and chats all start right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. Your dream, your purpose, your role. None of that has changed in the midst of all of this uncertainty. You were created to fill a unique role. You are needed, and you must do it. And so we continue to come to you live. Joe and Madison and Nathan are in the control room practicing social distancing. They're all healthy. Today is Joe's birthday. Nathan, can we get a shot of Joe, who, by the way, you can only see him kind of turn around, Joe. There we go. Oh, he's giving himself some applause. Yeah, there he is. And he's going with the 5 o'clock shadow look. I like it. I don't know if this is going to stay. We'll monitor this. I will keep you apprised on any breaking news. Madison, who hates this, is rocking the hat today, and the hair up, and we're not allowed to show Madison because she has to sign a waiver. So when you see Madison, it will be after she has given me full permission. She has a rider in her contract, so therefore, those of you who really want to see Madison, and she's lovely, but you know, that's all you're going to get is that she's wearing a cool hat today, and she's got the hair pulled up in a bun. I like the whole look. I like the whole thing. It's very, very coronavirus crisis, all hands on deck. It's totally approved. I dig it. All right, so let's talk about all of you that are at home right now with the kids, or maybe you don't have kids at home with you, but you're working from home right now. Great article from CNBC that I want to share with you. Going to roll through this really quick because this is really practical stuff. And this is great stuff by Courtney Conley. 5 tips, and then I'm going to comment on these. So here we go. Number 1, create a schedule. Number 2, communicate even more than you think is necessary. Number 3, set boundaries for your children. Number 4, take breaks. And then the 5th and final point, if I can get my hands around it, alternate shifts with your spouse. All right, so here we go. Let's walk through these. So create a schedule. So my wife is doing this right now. We've got 3 kids all at home, and she's got them on a schedule. She's making them get up at a certain time. They've got to do some stuff in the room, get it all tidy, all that business, got to take care of that. And then they're doing their online schooling. They've got snack time. They've got exercise time. They've got walk the dogs time, all that stuff. And so my wife's creating a schedule, and we're seeing a lot of this on social media. Now, my wife is a stay-at-home mom, but she's still working as hard as anybody. But for those of you that are working a job and you're in the home routine, this is really huge. You know, we have this going on at Ramsey Solutions, and our leadership sent out an email. Create a real schedule, you know. Show up at your desk at the same time so that you have a routine. That's really important. Number 2, communicate even more than you think is necessary. This is really true. With people kind of out of the office, you've got a little bit of a temptation for out of sight, out of mind, right? And so over communicate. Use multiple forms of communication, the chat, the text, the email, the video call. Check in, check in, check in. If you got kids at home, this point about setting boundaries with the kids is huge. You know, setting a schedule for them that works with your work schedule is really important right now. And make sure you sit down and over communicate with the kids. They're adaptable. Trust me, they'll do it. They'll do it, but you got to give them some boundaries. Take some breaks. I think this is important. Because you're working from home, you got different kind of breaks, which I think the breaks can actually be more regular and I think more effective. The idea of walking. Take the dogs out, you know, walk with the dogs, walk yourself, do some exercise, things that you would not normally be able to do at the office, you can do. Guys, drop down, give me 20 push-ups. You know, do that 5 times a day. You've done 100 push-ups, you're getting in shape, get the blood flowing. It's all really good for you. And then finally, with the spouse, in the home, they are your partner in this time. You guys are walking through this together. Make sure that you're alternating, that they've got certain time in that schedule where they're doing some stuff with the kids or whatever, with the dogs, whatever. But make sure that there is a give and take right now so that you're not going crazy. 844-747-2414. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Your chat's coming up in a few minutes. Your phone calls momentarily. But big news, Dave Ramsey announced it yesterday on his show. It's gone out through social media. I'll be pushing this as well. We are having a Message of Hope live stream tomorrow night, Thursday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. DaveRamsey.com. That's where you go. We'll be feeding that from our YouTube page, Dave's YouTube page, right into the website. So you can just go right there, DaveRamsey.com. It's absolutely free. And if you want to be reminded about this event, you got a lot going on, text the word HOPE to 33789. That's HOPE. Text that to 33789. Now, here's the deal. Dave Ramsey, Rachel Cruz, and yours truly. We are going to be, the three of us, giving you a message of hope. We're going to help you with some practical things you could be doing right now to be able to move forward in this time of tremendous uncertainty. We've got some good news and good things coming your way. It's going to be a really, really fun event. Dave and Rachel and myself met for over an hour and a half this morning, continuing to get together. We're excited about the message we're going to be bringing. And this is not just for you. This is for your friends, for your family. If you feel anxiety and fear and doubt, step in. Step into this time. 8 Eastern, 7 Central, DaveRamsey.com. And myself, Rachel Cruz, Dave Ramsey, going to be bringing you a very specific message of hope. So would you do a couple things? Number one, text the word HOPE to 33789, and we'll remind you of the time, give you kind of the heads up because you got a lot going on. Plan your night around this. It's going to be not a huge amount of investment from your time, but it's going to be really, really good for you. And would you help us spread the word? So if you follow us on social, spread the word. The nation, the world needs this, and we're going to bring it to you. Really excited and honored to be a part of it. 844-747-2577 is the number. We start off today in Baltimore, Maryland, where Cathleen joins us. Kathleen, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. What's going on?
Hey, so I'm calling for some advice. So I am an interior designer. I have been working full-time at a commercial architecture firm for a while. I have had my own side business for years. My husband and I are also in baby step 2.
Okay.
But my ultimate question for you is, what should my next step be in order to put myself in a position where I'm able to work for myself full-time? And of course, this has changed just a little bit since everything that's been going on. I kind of suddenly feel very grateful that I have a full-time job.
Yeah. And let me say this, that my advice it doesn't change from our current situation. Okay. Because it's going to take you a little bit of time to build up to this anyway. So let me find out from you, is the do this for yourself, is it basically the same thing you're doing right now, but doing it for yourself?
It's in the similar, so
tell me what it is.
I'm doing commercial interiors full time, but my side business, and which is truly my passion, is residential interiors.
Great.
I've always wanted to do it full time. I've worked for other companies doing it, but that's really where my goal is.
Okay, great. All right, so you're doing it commercially right now, and that's the day job. Okay, and the dream job is to be able to build your side hustle, which you're currently doing some of this.
I am.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
It's lots of juggle. Okay,
great. What do you make right now?
At my full-time job?
Yeah.
$75,000 a year, and I have health insurance and some other benefits like that.
So I'm just going to walk you through this mentally so that you understand what you're really dealing with. The answer to your question is you will move full-time into your current side hustle once you have been able to provide for yourself, or at least the bottom line, what's the absolute lowest amount of money you could pay yourself and still continue to live the way you guys want to live. So maybe you make 75 now, but you could make 50 and you guys wouldn't feel the crunch. So my point is, until you are able to pay yourself what you want to make, what you need to make from your own business, then you stay with the architectural firm, because that is just your it's your stability right now as you grow the side hustle.
Yeah.
So once the side hustle has $75,000 in the bank, okay, that's the win. We would move then we do it. So you keep making money on the side and putting all that money back into your side business bank account. And when you get to $75,000, you go, oh, I've got a year's worth of salary already in the bank. Now I can go. Or that number is lower because you go, well, I feel very confident with my pipeline, my web of connections, and the business that I know I could get if I was able to go full time. And if you've got, let's say, $50,000 in the bank or $40,000 in the bank, and you go, that's half, that's 6 months, but I know that the moment I step away, I'm going to be able to start billing more. So you are the one who determines that, but I'm giving you the framework where you've got at least 6 months of your salary in the bank, and you've got a pipeline that's waiting to burst. That would be when I would do it.
Okay. And so we've been using my side work as a means to pay down our debt in baby step 2.
Great.
Should I pay that off? Should we pay off the debt first before I set money aside for keep it in the business essentially?
I think it's a great option. As long as you're willing to be patient in the day job, because the day job's a good day job. But my answer to you was basically saying I'm including your baby step as a part of your expenses. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the amount of money. Yeah. So my point is, my answer's still the same, but it's option A, option B. You don't want to interrupt your income to the point that you have to stop, that you have to pause the baby steps. So you see what I'm saying? So I'm fine with either. But if you're willing to be patient, I like the option of you staying and delaying moving full-time into the dream job so that you could pay off that debt faster. I absolutely love that. So that means is instead of you putting money away into the side hustle bank account, you keep drilling that debt and then get that personal emergency fund up to a minimum of 6 months. Then you start holding on to every nickel from the side hustle. Okay. That is my favorite option. But both options will work. But my favorite option is for you to just hold on going full-time for yourself until you've paid off that personal debt in baby step 2 and getting that personal emergency fund where it needs to be. I like that the best.
I have a second part to my question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, irregardless of what's happening right now with the job market, because of the virus, I've been wondering, I'm pretty unhappy at the full-time job I have. And there's definitely some disadvantages with it. Is it a bad idea to try to find a similar type of job, maybe with another company that I would, maybe closer to home I'd be happier with? Yeah,
go for it. I mean, if you can find, my point is if we can find another design, architectural firm, whatever, where you can make 75 or more, and there's no interruption in income. So you don't jump off of a cliff, which you're not suggesting that, but I want to make sure everybody that's listening and watching understands what I'm saying. I'm fine for you to go look for something else. As long as we replace that income, yes, absolutely. And I'm proud of you, by the way. Really proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your advice.
Yeah. You've got a lot of options right now, and you're going to be killing it, and I'm really proud of you. And by the way, I would love for you to call back into the show when you go full-time for yourself, and let's do a dream scream. I want people to hear your journey.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
All right. You know where to find me. Cathleen, way to go. Let's go to Marie, who is in Roseville, California. Marie, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How are you today?
I am living the dream still, Marie. What's going on?
I'm calling to try to get your advice on how to switch from the job I'm currently in to basically my dream that I already have solid in my head, and I'm just trying to figure out the path between those two.
Okay, give me the two.
So I'm an automotive service advisor for a car dealership. Okay. It's really stable income. It's good income. But my dream is to actually own and operate my own CrossFit gym.
Okay.
That's my passion. It's what I love. And I'm just trying to figure out the steps between those two. Okay.
Well, it's pretty easy once we figure out what the steps are to actually successfully launch and operate a CrossFit gym. Okay? Because what you have to understand right now is that car dealership position, that job you have right now, that's stability. And so it's going to take time and money to be able to launch and operate successfully a CrossFit gym. You understand that? So what you've got to figure out, and maybe you've done this. So here's my question for you. Have you sat down and talked to at least 2 people who operate a CrossFit gym. They essentially are where you want to be. And if you have talked to them and said, okay, how much money did it cost you to get started? What was your licensing or what would you call it? There's an affiliation. There's some fee you have to pay to be a part of CrossFit, correct?
Yes, it's $3,000 a year.
Great, $3,000 a year. And then you need to find out from them how much does it cost you to rent this space. Have you done that?
I have general ideas on what it costs to build or create one and how to equip it and all of those things. I do have an idea of that cost.
Okay, I want you to know more than an idea. What would you say it is right now? What's the number you've got in your head?
It's about 45 to 50 grand.
Okay, I'd like you to be really sure. Are you just saying it that way, or are you not completely sure that it's 45 to 50?
No, I have talked to a couple owners. Good. And I've gone through a couple of those conversations.
Okay, great. So you're pretty certain. That's good. Good on you, by the way. Okay, so let's just say it's 50,000. I think that's the number we have to operate on. Okay, and I'm the kind of guy that goes, is there another 10 grand in there that I'm not seeing? So let's just say I need 50 to 60. I think that's a safe play for you. Okay, 50 to 60 to get up and going. All right. Now, do you know how many people you need paying? The monthly, do you know A, what you need to charge them? I'm guessing you do. And B, how many people you'd have to have showing up every month to be able to cover your expenses, which include paying you. Do you know that number? How many people?
I do not. No.
You got to know that. Because in your mind, you have got to go, do I have a web of connections that is strong enough right now that if I were to just open this, let's just say we magically had 50 to 60 grand, and you opened up today, how would you get the people there? You've got to know that too. Have you done your homework on how you get people in the door?
I don't know. No, I have not done that.
Okay, but I'm not criticizing you. You understand? I'm not like exposing you to criticize you. I'm helping you see what you've got to figure out next. Okay? You've done a good job because now you know, all right, I'm going to have $50,000 and I'm going to have to save that because Ken's not going to be happy with me taking a loan on that. You understand that, right?
Right. No, I want to pay for it myself.
You have to, because there's too much at risk. So before you even spend, let's say you save the 50 to 60 grand. Before you even spend that money to launch, you've got to know what it takes to win. How are you going to get people in the door? How have these other people done it? So by the way, it's going back to those 2 people, plus maybe talking to the national office, because they probably have a best practices FAQ type document at the very least that would say, here's what it takes to win. Here's what it takes to succeed. This is how you get people in the door. This is how you keep people in the door. Okay. And so you've got to really be educated off of other people's experience, Marie, before you launch this. So,
okay.
You see where I'm going? The answer to your question is you're going to have to stay. The bridge, the map, how I get there is I got to have 50 to 60 grand in the bank. How long is that going to take me to do that? How many side hustles? How many extra jobs am I going to need to pull? And how many years is it going to take me based on my income and my expenses to save that kind of money? That's your bridge. That's the path. And once you are able to A, pay for the launch, and B, feel very confident that you can get this thing going and keep it going, that's when you do it. But here's the last piece that I didn't mention. And I waited till this point, Marie, to tell you this because I don't want you to be discouraged. I don't want you to be surprised by this. It's very possible that you will need, in fact, I'm going to recommend that you launch this thing, okay, on the side. So like you've got a full-time job and then you launch the gym and you have some other people that are helping you. And you launch this thing and do it any way you can do it so that you've got a little extra cushion. If not, I would say wait long enough to where you've got extra money set aside that if in 6 months this gym doesn't deliver what you think it's going to deliver, that you've got some backup money and you're not struggling to get back into a normal job. This is just the nature of being an entrepreneur. I just want you to know that's the path, okay?
Right.
But
that's what I wanted to hear.
Hey, but you can do it. You can do it. And by the way, let me clarify one other thing. Does the $50,000 include what you would pay yourself, or is that just to launch the business?
That would just be launching.
Okay. So now I'm going to add money to that. What do you make right now?
About 70.
Oh, that's good money, though. That's really good money, Marie. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. If you can launch it on the side, great, because you're not going to have to pay yourself anything. That's why I made that recommendation. If you can't, you say, Ken, I can't do that logistically. I go, okay, then you're going to have to add $70,000 or at least 6 months of your current salary to that. So whatever half of your $70,000 is, so it's 35 gross, you're going to have that in the bank as well, so that you can give this thing a good 6 month go. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you're not struggling if it doesn't work right away. So add that money to your overall plan. 844-747-2577. To the chat room we go. Just Plain Danny says, hey, Ken, I recently took a promotion. Oh, boy, I know where this is going, and I haven't even read it. I know where it's going, guys. I recently took a promotion thinking it was a good thing. Out of curiosity, I took the should I quit my job quiz, and I'm now in the wrong role, in the wrong place. I can't switch positions for a year, and I thought I liked the company. Now what? Why can't you switch positions for 1 year? I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. This is why I like these to be phone calls. But let me go ahead and address it anyway. Here's the deal. You took a promotion because of money, probably a little bit of sizzle. You could tell your friends and family, I got a bump in responsibility, and this is a little sexier job, so I'm going to take that. Feels real good. And now you realize, I don't like this. You took the Should I Quit My Job quiz, which is free at kencoleman.com for the rest of you out there. By the way, now's the time to be taking that quiz, because we're going to come out of this thing, and it'll be a great time to switch. What do? Again, I don't understand if you've signed a contract that you can't get out of, but if it's true that you actually can't leave for 1 year, then you got to suck it up. It's time to be a big boy, Just Plain Danny. I mean, you made the decision. You made your bed. Now you got to sleep in it. That's an old grandma phrase, but it's absolutely right. So now you go, okay, I'm going to take this time, this 1 year, and I'm going to keep listening to the Ken Coleman Show. I'm going to call in if I need to, and I'm going to get clear on what my sweet spot is and what my unique role is in that sweet spot, and I'm going to go after that. And I'm going to take that year to plan and to get educated and get some experience if I can on the side, and I'm going to make connections, and I'm going to be ready to step into that sweet spot in 1 year. And now I know what I'm looking for. Patricia Alsobrook writes, how do I prepare for phone and video interview as well as updating my resume? Oh, Patricia, you must be new. Good news. You can go to kencoleman.com right now. And we've got 3 get hired guides: your resume, your preparation and performance in the interview. We call it How to Win the Interview. And then the touchpoint timeline. Those first 2 are really, really important for you right now because they address this question. I actually have I think it's like 17, 18 page PDF. I walk you through what to do on your resume, show you how to do it, and give you a template to where you plug in your information. Your resume is going to look great. However, a resume is worthless without a relationship, so you have to have some connections. And I walk you through that in the PDF as well. So instead of walking you through that right now, folks, I'm just going to tell you to save time. I wrote this out for you. I hold you by the hand and tell you what to do. So go to kencoleman.com, Patricia and everybody else, and get the resume guide and the interview guide. It teaches you how to prepare for the phone and video interviews so that you can perform well. Okay, so go check that out. This is great. Best username all time. Number 1 in the annals right now. The Afro Avenger J. I love that. How do you find the career you're meant to have when you aren't sure of what you like? Oh, you got to start with getting clear, which is stage 1 of my journey. There's 7 stages to meaningful work, truly living the dream. Stage 1 is get clear. 3 indicators. What do you do best? These are skills. So think hard skills, soft skills, abilities, qualities. So hard skills, so things like I am really good at analyzing data. Great. I'm also very patient. Great, that's a soft skill. So you've got abilities and qualities. Think character traits, personality traits, okay? Then it's what you love to do most. What kind of work fires you up? You get excited about it, and when you think about it, and then you lose track of time when you're engaged in it. The whole world stops. That's high emotion, high devotion. And then finally, what results matter most? Who are the people you most want to help? What are the problems you most want to solve? What are the solutions you most want to provide? Those are the results of the work. So you use what you do best to do work you really, really love to produce a result that matters deeply to you. That's the deal. That's clarity. That's how you get clear. And those are the 3 indicators. Once you see those results, you go, oh, that's my sweet spot right there. And so what's that role in the marketplace, or job rather, in the marketplace where you can be that person, okay? And show up every day and do that. And there's multiple ways that you can be in your sweet spot in the marketplace. It's not just one job, okay? There are multiple different jobs that will allow you to be you. That's what I mean when I say your unique role. Are you a teacher? Are you a guide? Are you a facilitator? Are you a fixer? Are you a counselor? You know, think of that one word that kind of describes you once you have those 3 columns, those 3 indicators filled out. And you go, oh, this is what I want to be every day, this type of role, and I can use this job to do that. That's how you start the process. But I would really tell you, call in the show, 844-747-2577. You can call me. And if you don't get through on a certain day, keep calling. You can leave a voicemail, and you can email the show, ask@kencoleman.com, and Madison will get you on the show, I promise, okay? 844-747-2577. Okay, moving fast today, quick teaching. Joe hates it when I clap in the mic. All right, so here's the deal. Very excited about this. What's the one thing that'll hold you back during this crisis? Now, I'm talking about your work. Those of you who will be laid off, those of you who have been laid off or furloughed, and you're going, Ken, I got a crunch right now. What do I do? I had this career path going, or I was working my way. I had a day job, and I was working towards the dream job, and then boom, this thing hit. And my company is shut down, or they've laid a bunch of us off, and we don't know when we're coming back. And I get it. So I'm going to tell you something. Now, this is going to be tough for some of you, but let's talk about purpose versus priorities. So we got our purpose. We know what we want to do, but sometimes things like this happen, and we've got priorities. We got to take care of our mortgage or our rent. We got to take care of our food, our utilities, and transportation. That's what matters most right now. And if I lose my income, I'm going, whoa, what do I do? Well, I've been talking a lot, and you can go to my Instagram page if you want to see some examples of all the different companies and thus the industries that are hiring right now, because it's not all bad news in the economy right now. Feels like it, but there are a lot of companies where demand is going up, and thus they need more workers. And so why wouldn't you jump over there right now? It's temporary. It doesn't mean that your purpose is evaporated, that your dream job is gone forever. No, it's that I've got to pivot, and my pride is what will hold me back. So that's what I want to talk about. The enemy right now that could hold you back, if that's you, who I'm describing right now, your pride could hold you back. You're going, well, I was making this amount of money, and I was in corporate America, and I'm not going to go deliver pizzas. I'm not going to go, work in a warehouse and stock shelves. Well, why not? We're not talking about the same amount of money. I fully understand that, folks. But just to take care of those 4 walls, as we call them, at Ramsey Solutions, you just need some income coming in. If you got to work 2 or 3 jobs and you're stocking grocery shelves at night and delivering pizza during the day or during the evening and you're working all night, you do what you have to do right now. Swallow your pride. There's honor in working at Walmart or Amazon or UPS or FedEx or whatever, delivering stuff. There's honor in that. That's work. You pivot. You look at what industries that are represented in your area are hiring, and you go there. It's not going to make your resume look bad. Nobody cares. This economy will come back. You will get back to work, and you will be better and do better and make more in the future. This is a temporary deal. Don't let pride keep you stuck at home on unemployment. There's nothing wrong with taking unemployment benefits. Hear what I'm saying. Don't get your feelings hurt right now. But I'm telling you, if you need to make more money, and you can make more money than you would on unemployment benefits right now, because we're waiting for this stimulus thing to hit, and see what it looks like. We've got some details that are emerging. Go do your homework on that. But right now, don't let your pride hold you back. There's no shame in doing what it takes to stay afloat right now. No shame at all. So don't feel it. But I'm worried there's a lot of people out there go, I don't want to tell somebody that I'm out delivering pizzas. Let me tell you something. If it came down to providing for my family right now, you'd see Kenny Boy out there delivering. All right? You know what's funny, though, is that pizza companies are exploding right now, you know? And if I had to do that, that's what I'd do. You know, and again, I'm just giving one example. Okay? Again, go to @Ken Coleman on Instagram. We put a post up yesterday, specific companies that are hiring. These are national companies, but this will give you an idea. But I'm telling you, the help wanted right now are going crazy. But there's all kinds of hourly work right now that's popping up for folks. And I would take that hourly work. I really would. I'd step up. It'll get your mind off of all this uncertainty and bring some money in. You're going to feel good. And then when everybody starts getting back out in society and working, the demand is going to increase. You're going to get right back into that job. And if you don't, because I recognize there's some companies that didn't plan for this and they're going to go out of business. But our economy was crazy hot and the job market crazy hot in February. That's not going to completely go away. I just don't believe that. I don't see any fundamentals for that. Once we all return back to spending and living, understand, this is not a normal economic situation. I want to help you understand that because we've got this crazy pause. It's literally like God just hit the pause button. Bink. So understand what's going on. This is not an economic pattern. This is a massive disruption and we will respond. So do what you have to do in this downtime just to keep money coming in. 844-747-2577. Back to the phones we go to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Kevin joins us there. Kevin, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you? Thanks for taking my call. It's great to speak with you, and I appreciate all that you do for everybody.
Well, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. How can I help you?
Okay, cool. Well, just this week, I started a new job doing public relations for an insurance company after spending 7 years in the television industry.
Okay.
And this new job offers me better hours, twice as much pay, better benefits, and a better opportunity. And it's still in an area that I like living in. And it also is an overall complete upgrade compared to where I was before. My only concern about this is that, you know, it's in an industry that I'm not familiar with or not passionate about at this time. And that leads me to this question. It's like, if I look back on this in 6 months and decide I don't like it and I want to leave, does that look bad on my part?
No.
Or
not at all.
No?
No, because you have moved from media to doing PR, which is a natural connection there. But
right.
You're just not jazzed. You don't know if you're going to be jazzed. You have a pretty good idea that you're not going to be jazzed about doing PR for insurance, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I am passionate about doing PR and creating content and all that kind of stuff.
So this is great. All right, so let me tell you what your mindset needs to be. And this is, by the way, what the public spin will be. I love talking to a PR guy. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
This does not, you leaving 6 months from now does not say that you are a job hopper and a flake. That's what you're worried about. You're worried about that being your brand. You know what it says? If you do it right, Kevin. It says, okay, Kevin jumped out of TV, got into PR. He's so good at it. And he realized it's not insurance. I want to do PR for this industry or in this thing. And so I took another opportunity. I stepped up the ladder. I'm such a rock star that I got a great opportunity and I stepped up. You see the difference?
Yeah, I do see the difference now. And that's what I was thinking about beforehand. And it's just, like, because I'm not so passionate about the industry, I'm like, will I still live for the weekend, or maybe it's the
let me tell you why.
In the wrong place?
No, because you get to control that.
Okay.
Let me tell you how you control that. You are in PR. Okay. You're passionate about PR. You just said it. So PR for insurance is how you get in. It's not where you're going to stay. You're not going to be there 25 years from now. So This is getting in. What did you do in television? Tell me.
I was a photographer and a digital content producer.
Okay, great. Let's say that you ran into 21-year-old Ken Coleman and I said I wanted to get into television. What would you say to me?
I would say just do what you can and learn as much as you can, because you never know where it's going to take you.
Right. And you would also say, just get a job. Just get something in the TV station. It doesn't have to be the photography job you want. Just get in and do a good job, and then a spot will open. Wouldn't you tell me that?
Yeah.
So you're in.
Absolutely, I would.
So do you understand? I just had you teach yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're in, dude.
Yeah.
You're in PR. Like, you need a resume and you need some experience doing PR. So stop worrying about, it's insurance and I'm not as thrilled about that, and start going, I need to learn how to tell stories. What are the stories for these insurance companies or this insurance group that I'm working for that I can get fired up about telling?
Right.
Now that's what you focus on.
And that's what I've honestly been thinking about myself, is that I could use this experience and gain as much experience as I can.
Yeah.
So that maybe someday down the road, maybe in 6 months from now, or even next year, I can get into I can get into PR and content creation in an industry that I like.
Yes, you're in PR. And by the way, you doubled your salary. Kevin, let me say this in a very kind way, and I mean this. Dude, you just need to change your mindset right now. You're in. You have successfully gotten out of one industry into another industry that you said you love. Number two, you've also managed to double your salary.
Right.
Bro, how about focusing on how good life is instead of how, I don't like insurance. Who cares, man? You're the young guy who just got in the TV station, who's only making $10 an hour and he's eating ramen noodles, but 2 years from now, he's an assistant producer and he moves up. That's who you are right now, except that's not even close to where you are. You're in a good situation. You're in PR. You need to focus on how grateful you are to be where you are, and focus on getting better at being a publicist. And the better you get at that, you'll have plenty of time to move into a different industry doing the same kind of work. Man, you're in good shape. Your mindset needs to be one of gratitude and hustle. I got to focus on the now, and I got to win in the now if I want the next. You can't focus on, I'm in insurance right now. That's not your mindset. It's be the best storyteller you can be for that insurance company or insurance group, and that's going to make you a better publicist, which is going to set you up. And when you leave, if it's 6 months or a year from now, you're not a flake. You're stepping up into something else. You get to control everything I said today. None of that stuff is outside of your control. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And yeah, this definitely reassures me on that, because that's what I wasn't sure about down the road. But just talking to you right now really has reassured me that I'm going to be okay down the road. You're
going to be more than okay. You're going to be fantastic. You're going to be a guy who's living and working on purpose, and you're going to run into somebody else one day who says the same thing you just said to me. You're going to go, hey, let me help you with mindset. And I want you to pay it forward. You hear me?
Absolutely, Ken.
Kevin, you're a rock star. Press on, buddy. I love it. Oh, my gosh, Joe. Is that clock right? That music means I got to go. But before I do, I want you to know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.